Greetings again, everybody. Now that I hit record, just back up here for a moment. A while back, you took an Excel pretest. All you had to do to get your 20 points was to write something for each question. If you honestly knew the answer or wanted to make a guess, you could do that. If you didn't, you're supposed to have written I don't know or abbreviation IDK, which is fine. I didn't expect you to know those. You are not penalized for not knowing it. I just asked you to put down I don't know or IDK to get your points. So I know that you at least looked at it. Now, today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to review. I didn't want you to take the test yet. I'm going to review what's on it just to make sure you understand the basics of Excel. And so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and hit share screen. And I'm going to open up. I have a Microsoft Word document all ready to go for this. Okay, so you guys can see my Excel review here. And while you guys are looking at that, I'm going to be looking at the Excel pretest so I know what's on it. Okay, so the first thing I want you to understand is when you open up a new Excel document, it is a workbook. I think everybody understands that. You have a workbook, and a workbook can have one worksheet. It can have 100 worksheets. Okay, so the document itself that you open and save is a workbook. And then inside there, you have what's called worksheet. Put sheets, usually got more than one. And if you ever heard the term spreadsheets, because I say that a lot, it means the exact same thing as worksheet. So each of those pages, like you've been making already, is called a worksheet or a spreadsheet. You can use either term, they mean the exact same thing. So everyone should understand that concept. You have a workbook, and then you've got multiple sheets in the book. And we've done several of those already. Now, the next thing in the review is what does every formula start with? All formulas start with an equal sign. Okay, whoops, put the wrong sign there. Okay, all formulas start with an equal sign. Functions are formulas. When you hear me talk about a function like a sum function or an average function or a max function, we did some of those. I want you to understand they're just a special type of formula. That's it. So all formulas start with an equal sign, no matter what the formula is. If I were to ask you write a formula for Excel, it has to start with an equal sign. It's that simple. Okay. Now, if you want to add, we're going to do a little review here. I'm going to call it functions review here. Okay. If you want to add some things up, you're going to put an equal sign and you're going to put a sum function. Now, you notice I wrote it in capital letters. It does not have to be written in capital letters on Excel. Now, you might say, then how do I add it up again here, Mr. Rio? I put equal, I put sum, and then what? In parentheses, you're going to have multiple cells, usually next to each other or on top of each other or whatever. And you're going to have the, say I'm going to put down like C3 colon C8. Now, the top left of the cells in the range, this is called a range. It'd be top left colon bottom right. We'll put that in parentheses. I guess I don't really need this here. Okay, so a range is top left colon bottom right. So that's the top left of the cells, and that's the bottom right. Now, often they are in the same row or the same column. So this one, they'd both be in column C. You start with C3 and go to C8 and all the ones in between, and you'd add those up. If there's any blank ones in there, it won't hurt anything. They'll just obviously won't add anything when there's nothing there. So a range is always the top left to the bottom right. Now, do a couple other functions here. I think average is pretty obvious. An average function is going to be equal. Now, you do write out the entire word average, and then I'll do B2 to B7. Okay, so that would go through the cells B2 to B7, and it would average them out. Now, I might say, where are these at? These functions or formulas are in another cell. So you have to have a cell that they go in, might be B8 or B9, where you do that. So average would go through those cells and average the numbers. You should know from basic math classes, to get an average, you add them up and divide by how many there are. So if you got 5 numbers, you add the 5 numbers up and divide by 5, and then you get an average. Now, the next one that's a little trickier is count. What does count do? I'll tell you in a second. Again, you don't have to write these capital. That one I purposely wrote the D lowercase and the count mostly lowercase.
I've kind of found.
Okay, yep. Someone needs to mute themselves. Okay, thank you.
Couple years ago, when I first started doing it, I was like every day.
There, I muted them. Okay, so we got count here. What does count do? This is a little bit trickier. Count goes through the range of cells. It does not add them up. Okay. Every cell with any number is counted as 1. So you can have 5 cells with all different numbers in them. And if you did a count function for those 5 cells, it would be 5 if there's a number in 5 different cells. Okay, it counts each one as 1. It's used for things like hotel rooms and stuff like that, where the numbers don't really mean anything. They're just like the number on the door. And you want to know how many rooms there are. Okay, that's what it's used for. Okay, we got max and min. Now I'm going to combine these together here. So a max is going to show the highest number. Min shows the lowest number. Okay, so if you're going through this range of numbers, if you do a max function, whichever number is the highest in that range, it's going to display that. It's used for things like the highest salesperson. How much sales do they have? A min is the opposite. It's going to show the lowest number. And that might be good for like golf scores, where the lowest number might be the winner. Okay, so you got max and min. So I'll just combine those together. Okay, operators. You guys remember that term? Okay. This is pretty easy, just a basic math. And that would be adding. I don't even think I need to write what that is. Subtraction. I sure have to write what that is. Multiplication is an asterisk. And division is a backslash. So I think you guys know these here. Okay, I just labeled it multiply and divide. I don't even think I need to do plus and minus. I think you guys know that. So that's the operators to know. We have a backslash for a divide, and an asterisk for a multiply, a minus, and a plus. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Let's see. I'm looking through the pretest, and it looks like we got all this covered. Oh, one other thing. When you put in some text and you want to merge it with some other cells and center it, it is called merge and center. Okay. Remember merge and center? We use that a lot with titles. Say you want a title over centered over like 5 columns. You drag across 5 columns, even if you wrote the title in the first column. Then you do merge and center, and then centers it nicely and merges all those cells together. So for our pretest, which is going to be your Excel test, I'll be posting. Um, yeah, you make a workbook that has worksheets or spreadsheets in it. All formulas start with an equal sign. I think everybody knows that. Functions that add things up is the sum function. Remember that Greek letter looking E. The range is the top left to the bottom right with a separated by a colon in parentheses. Functions display the highest number in a range is max, and the lowest number is a min. Operator for multiplication is a asterisk. Division's a backslash. The count function goes through a range of cells and counts any cells with numbers as one each. So if say there's 6 cells, but one of them doesn't have a number in it, it would only count that as 5. And if you want to combine cells and merge the text in a document, that's called merge and center. So that is it. That's all I wanted to cover today. So I'll be checking a little later today to see if the Excel test is up. I can't remember if it is or not. And if it's not, I'll post it later today and you can take it anytime the rest of the week. It's really easy. I just covered everything that's on it. And let me see what else is up this week. That pretty much was. Okay, I'll just bring up bring up the rest of the week. Okay, beside the Excel pretest, which is up here, you can take it now. Some people did already. Now, of course, this is going to be I don't know. That's a pretest. Sorry about that. Now, some of you didn't do the pretest, so you lost your 20 free points. The Excel test. Excuse me. There's notes for review, and here's the test itself. Okay. Let me see. Did I do that in such a manner to share it with you? If I did not, you can just number 1 through 10 on a Google Doc and put in the answer and share it. Okay. I can't remember if I set it up to share with you or not. I may not have. So that's the big thing this week. You got a TED on all your devices can be hacked to do this week. What is a database? Just a really simple assignment. You look at a couple little videos about what a database is and answer some questions about it. I'll talk more about that on Thursday. And 23 jobs of the future. That's pretty easy. There's a document with it and there's a video and trying to help you be aware of some of the jobs of the future. Okay. So that's what we're doing this week. You got these assignments. Get them done. We're wrapping up Excel. You can use your notes on that and watch my tutorial today, and that should help you ace it. If everybody aces it, that's okay with me. Seniors like Mitchell Carr, what I want you to do, because this is an online class, is just wrap up this week's assignments. It's not hard, and you should be fine after that. Okay. Any questions, you can contact me, or right now, if you have them right now, you can put them in the chat or unmute yourself. But I think that's about it. How long are you going to be at school today? I'm going to be at school today, not super long, probably till 3:30, 4 o'clock. But if you come into work and you want to stay a little longer, that's okay. I will be here tomorrow. I get here about 9:15, 9:20, 9:30 at the latest. And I'll be here a long time tomorrow, probably at least 3, maybe 4, 5, 6 o'clock. So I'll post that in the Google Classroom. And then most days during the school day, there's nobody in my lab 5th block right now. There's nobody in my lab 2nd block. So if you're in the building anyway, you're making up some work, you can always come on down. Okay. So we will be here. So that's it. Take care, Sarita. Take care, JD. Take care, Tyler. Take care, Hanson, Colin, Matthew, Aiden. Okay. See you tomorrow, Colin. Take care, Hanson. See you, Tyler. See you, JD. You have a good day too. Enjoy the warm weather. Take care, Sarita. Take care, Colin. See you tomorrow, Colin. Take care, Matthew.